Hi, everybody. Nice to have you here. Germany is in panic. Why? They have too much sick people. Well, all countries have that right now. You think it's corona, it's influenza and so on. No, it's not. It's obesity. There is too much fat people. So, why do they panic right now? Why do they discuss this so much now? They can't handle it anymore. It's too expensive. They don't have the possibility to take care of everybody. Not enough doctors, nurses, and so on, facilities. And this comes with this report coming out now that 2030, they estimate that 12% of all Germans will have diabetes. And if you look at the WHO's statistics, you see the same. It's the same all over the world. And you can think, yeah, well, Germany is a very educated and good country. Why? Why can't they take care of it? Well, they try, but they failed. And this is the situation now, the panic. You know, every time governments try to do something to change the laws and so on, the big hammer comes. What is the big hammer? Well, there are 12 gigantic companies in the world. They run and take care of everything in our food industry. They own everything. Under these branches, there are thousands of small companies who work under them that they own. And these are all the branches you know. This is what we eat. So what happens when somebody tries to change something? Yeah, well, these companies, they have created this system. So this is how they maximize earnings. So they don't want any change. This is perfect for them. This is how they have maximum gain. So the big hammer. Well, they come in with lawyers and they come in with people who are lobbying for laws and so on. So they punch and crush everything there, makes the law fits them. Of course, they bribe politicians, they bribe people, and if they can't bribe, they threaten them. And in the end, a lot of people just lose their job and disappear who try to change something. This is the panic in Germany. They want to do something, but can't win over the big companies. They have too much money. WHO also came out with new statistics. 2030, 50% of all people in the world will be obese. But that's not enough, because they will also starve. So how can we have that people get fatter and fatter, and at the same time sicker and sicker because they don't get the food they need? Yeah, well, it's very clear. We know it, you know it. The food is bad. There's nothing in the food. The food is dead. The body wants to continue to eat until it's all vitamins, minerals, nutrition that it's need. And if it's not in there, we continue to eat. And when we eat this sugar and other stuff that's in it, it just save it. And we get thicker and thicker. And with this, we get all the diseases, long-time diseases that is connected with being too fat. So, the big question is, why do you eat this food? Why do we accept this? Why do we eat this food? Well, it's really simple. There's nothing else in the shop. because these companies control it. So we have to take what there is. And how did it happen? Well, it's happened because we nowadays don't work for ourselves. We don't work with things that support our own system, that support us. We don't create our own food and build our own house and things like that. We're working somewhere else for someone else with things that is not directly beneficial for us and our survival, but for something in our economic system. So I'm separated from taking care of myself to taking care of something else. And for that, I got money. So we are so dependent on money. So we are in this economic system today. So money is everything. We're stuck with this economic system. And therefore, we have no choice. We have to follow these people who runs the economic systems. Next thing is fiber and root crops cannot compete with fat, sugar, salt, chemicals that trigger our taste senses and so on. Can't compete. It's much more tasty. We are addicted to these kind of things. It's very hard to get addicted to a carrot. So when we work the whole day and we come home or we finished work, we want something who tastes good. We want a reward, and it should be simple. We don't want to work for it. We have already worked. So this is also convenient for the companies, because it's so much easier to work with dead materials than live material. So if you think about transport, it's much easier. Storage, handling, picking these things. It's much easier. Vegetables and live food, get moldy, get sour and so on. The timestamp is different and you have to take care of all this. So the more food that is simple to handle, the better for these companies. So they want us to eat more of this stuff and less of this stuff that is more expensive for them, more advanced for them to handle, more tough for them. So when you work somewhere else and not in your own system, that means your mind is occupied with that. You're totally focused on that. This is your bubble, this is your life, this is how you think. It's you. Either you want it or not. This is how you spend your mental time. So you don't want to have the struggle with things outside that, because the brain is also a little bit lazy. It wants to do the thing that it's normally do, doesn't want to jump between different things. So cooking and taking care of food is outside of this bubble. So when you come home, you want it to be finished. It should taste good and be finished. You do not want to work with that. You're already tired. So when you take something in the shop, it should be easy, and you go home and put it in the fridge and you can take it out very easy, and fastly you have your food. Even better is to go to a restaurant. You pay more money, but you get it directly and it tastes good, and you're happy, you're full. So it gets even better, because nowadays you can lay in the sofa, push some buttons on your telephone, and half an hour later the food comes directly into your home and you can sit there and eat. Yeah, fantastic. The best thing is that this goes in line with the economical system, because today the transition are electronic, and every transition, the banks or Visa, Mastercard, and this take a little percentage. So the more transitions between people, the more they earn. They take money from you and put it into their pockets. This percentage doesn't do anything. It's just they suck it out from the system, your system. So you have to work more. And when somebody else work, they work for money also. They don't care about if the food is good or bad. They just want their money. So you pay more and you get bad food. More. We buy bad food because it's cheaper. Because it's easier to produce, cheaper to produce, it's garbage. So when now the prices goes up fast and high, we cannot really afford, or we think, my God, food have been so expensive. So we stop buying the more expensive food and buy more of the less expensive. So what do the shops do? These companies do? Yeah, they take away the most expensive food that nobody buys, and then they put into the bottom, they put in food that is worse than the bad food. Because then suddenly the bad food is the good food. And what this does is it trigger what's happened now in Germany and rest of the world. Because if we eat even worse food than what we do now, then we will get sick even faster and maybe more severe. And then we push the hospital situation even more. So we see here what we have to do. Why do I sit here and are rather happy? It's horrible. This situation is really crazy. But it's nice to be a part of the solution and not the problem. Because we can always gather with a farmer. You find a good farmer, small farmer who grow food, grow nice crops, vegetables and so on. And you buy it from him or her. It starts to be very popular. And even better, you start to grow your own food. And then you think, but it's so expensive, it takes time, it's hard. I will tell you what is hard and expensive. That is to be really, really sick. That's expensive. Having all these diseases are expensive, and it's horrible. And if you ask these people who have got sick, if they could change, what do you change? I wish I did different. I really wish I had eaten better, so I'm not sick. Now I can't reverse it. Now I've destroyed my life. So doing these things, finding a way to create your own food and getting better food is cheap compared to this, because you pay it anyway. Because when you're sick, even though the system takes care of you, it costs you. You don't see the price, you don't see the cost, but you pay taxes for this. It's not for free. You pay the same, but you can pay it directly by investing in good food now and create your own food now, and you, instead of being sick, and still pay the same amount of money. And when you start to grow your own food, it's like printing your own money, because now this is your own system. It's not the economic system you are in. So you don't have to think about that the price goes up on food. You have your own food. And you actually have no choice. You have to start somewhere to build your own system and grow your own food. We always think that, getting sick and dying, so it's happened to everybody else. It doesn't happen to us. But that's not what the statistics says. So we have to be a part of the solution, not the problem. So you buy a little pot. Yeah, buying, I know. Some earth. Now it's January, so you don't have much choice because it's snowing and cold outside, but you can always buy some chili seeds and put down, and then you put some water in. And you have started. Started to build your own system. And therefore we have the solution for all this craziness. If you have something else than growing your own food or collaborate with people who grow foods, then tell me. I don't know any other way how to solve this. So, but if you have, you just send it to me. I would be very happy. So, start to grow your chili and have a nice day.